Digital photography, how are you? I'm just going to push out next week's stuff in case you are ready and in case you want to take some pictures. It's really time, guys, to start taking photos. And I only got a week with you, so we were just getting through the foundations. But if you did not see what I put out a couple of days ago in this foundations folder, which is where everything is that we're working on right now, there is a folder called iPhoneography and Creativity, and I am patiently waiting to see some creative stuff that you guys are doing based on some of this creative suggestion that I gave you. So look at these links and videos, and I want to see you start, using your time to make some creative photos, which you will post here. See what I'm saying? I keep going there, and there's nothing there yet. So check that out. Do that. That's one thing on the agenda. And then the other thing is something that we talked about right before we left. I told you this was coming, the elements and principles of design. So I put that student example or a student example in there. It's different than the one I showed you in class, but nonetheless, you can check it out. This is Lucy's. So same format as we talked about, you're going to have a photo for each of the elements and principles that are on our list of notes, which I'll show you in a second. So you'll take a photo, let me present it, it'll look like this, and then the next slide will be the answer to what it is, and you'll just go down the line like that. Sadly, we won't be able to play the game as a class, but I will play the game for you, and I am going to let you know after I guess how many I got correct. So I'll play the games, and then also we will be posting them on a discussion here, elements and principles links, and you all are going to have to choose a few to do, and then you will be commenting on each other's how many you got correct after you tried to guess. So more to come on that. What I'd really like you to focus on right now is taking a picture that really captures each of these elements and principles. So for rhythm or pattern, you might go out and look at for something, or maybe you'll stay in and look for something with repetition, either a pattern or something that is repeating, that you really feel like people will look at that photograph and know that is an example of rhythm or pattern. Contrast, look for contrasting things. It doesn't have to be black and white. It could be smooth and textured. It could be big and small. Just looking for a photograph that has contrast between two different things. Value, the lightness or the darkness of a color. Line is when you are creating the illusion of a line with either a literal line, or maybe it's a shape that's repeating in a pattern that creates a visual line. Balance is when things are weighted equally visually. Unity is a tricky one that I think some people are not sure how to take a picture of it. But I would say that it's really a feeling of wholeness, and where everything feels like it works together cohesively, and nothing looks like it needs to be taken out of the picture. It just looks like a whole and like a unit all together. Emphasis or focal point, we talked about having your eye stop and rest at a certain place. A lot of people use eyes when they do this photograph just because it's a dead giveaway, but try to do something that has a focal point that's not an eye. Space is creating that sense of 3D on a 2D surface. So, like, look for images that might have a foreground, a middle ground, a background. Color is pretty self explanatory. It's about capturing um, and using color in your photographs. Texture is my favorite. It's just looking at the surfaces of things and trying to capture really beautiful texture in a photograph. That's a lot of really nice, interesting visual information to look at. I think that's why that's my favorite. Shape is the use of geometric or organic shapes in your picture. And variety is where you have all these things kind of mixed up in one picture. So there's a lot of different things to look at that are working together in your picture. So these are elements and principles because they are pieces that you can use in your images to make them more interesting. It also gives us a vocabulary so that we can talk about your images in a constructive way. So that's why we're focusing on these right now. So take 12 pictures and then I want you to mix them up. So do not do your pictures in that order. Mix them up in your Google Slides presentation and then go to share. I'm in the top right corner where it says share, and then make sure that you choose anyone who has the link can view your work so that we can all see each other's work. Before you take that link, whoa, and you post it on Schoology here where it says elements and principles links. So this is going to be something that we do early next week. If you want to start taking those pictures now, that would be great. By Wednesday, I'm going to ask you to have them up so that we can then go through and comment on each other's. And I'm going to ask everybody to take a look at least 3 and then put a score underneath for how many you guessed correctly. I think it'll give people feedback on how well they did, really, really capturing each of those elements and principles specifically. So if you have questions, please don't hesitate to email me or shoot me a Schoology message that pushes to my inbox as well. I miss you all. I am still looking for some of those creative photos on our iPhoneography and creativity folder, and I'm also still waiting on some camera diagrams too. So start uploading that stuff. Those of you who have already done that, I did put some comments in this morning with a little bit of feedback. So have a great day. I miss you all, and I will talk to you soon.